This is the anime antagonist, and I present you Prom Night 1980 is a film about a group of high school seniors looking to have fun, to have sex, and celebrate being young, horny bastards. This movie stars Jamie Lee Curtis right after John Carpenter's 1978 slasher Halloween, as well as Leslie Nielsen, famous for the Naked Gun trilogy. The movie is a typical 80s slasher. You have topless women, gory kills, and a bloodthirsty killer, who is clearly one of the side characters. Prom Night 1980 made $15 million, which was enough to spawn three sequels, heading into 1991 where the franchise ended. Moving on to the 2000s, which was a great decade for a lot of reasons, but one of them was not horror remakes, because 2005 had the Amityville Horror starring Ryan Reynolds, 2007 had Rob Zombie's Halloween, 2008 had Day of the Dead starring Nicholas Cornelius. However, in 2008, Prom Night was remade also. It stars a bunch of acting school rejects with Idris Elba and James Ransone, who are two capable actors, taking paychecks to play as classic, incompetent, useless detectives. Without further ado, let's start the review. The movie starts with a drone one take that caught me off guard because it was somewhat good, unlike the opening song that goes with the credit. Pretty blonde final girl is dropped off at her house by, you guessed it, token black girlfriend. Final girl comes home to nobody, and she does not have the IQ to check in front of the couch as her dad is dead due to a bloody hand, not wrist, with no weapon in sight. Dumb bitch trips over a baseball bat and thinks her younger brother is sleeping until she turns him over to find him dead. Her screams alert the killer, who is still in the house. As a rational person, what would you do in a situation? Even though it's a second-story house, I would jump through the window and take minor cuts and a broken arm, if that means living. Or you could pick up the bat and defend yourself. Two very reasonable actions. But you know what white teenage girls in horror movies? You know what they do? They hide underneath the bed so they can watch their mom get stabbed to death. Duh. She runs outside where the killer stabs her in the stomach, only for the movie to reveal it was all a dream. We cut to high school where everyone is 25 and prom night is right around the corner. Makeup and hair montage. Final girl thinks she sees the killer not once, but twice for two cheap jump scares. The soundtrack is shit. My Walmart bathroom stall mic sounds better. She's dating the tall star quarterback. What a surprise! We're introduced to Final Girl's friend, so this movie can have a higher kill count. Goth couple, black couple, Asian couple, red carpet, and media for prom. You name it, they got it. Idris Elba is hunting down the same killer from the dream sequence earlier because he escaped from a maximum security prison with no help whatsoever. And when we find out that the killer is at prom, I realized I've seen this movie before, but when I was younger. And every girl who's not friends with the final girl is a bitch. Who would have guessed it? Nobody can dance worth a shit. Somehow the prom is held at a hotel where the killer can conveniently check in on the same floor as Final Girl, where he murders the token housekeeper for the master key. By the way, the reason the movie is able to be PG-13 is because the blood budget is almost non-existent. Simp quarterback gives his credit card to dumb blonde bimbo, and she goes to change clothes to find some missing, just like token black friend. Third friend gets choked to death. She barely had any lines. Idris Elba arrives at prom while killer wants Blondie all to himself, so he murders third friend's boyfriend with another off-screen kill. 45 minutes into the movie, and the black couple is still alive. For now. Sports character development that I don't care about. 30-year-old bellhop is murdered off-screen, and he somehow yells as he's getting choked. That totally won't come into play later. Black couple are going upstairs to have sex in a horror movie. Well, rip. Idris Elba is doing what he does all movie. watching the blonde hoe until he finds the killer's car outside. The killer cuts the phone line, then black girl has to leave because she does not want to lose her virginity. So she falls down a flight of stairs. She is chased into the basement where her throat is slit, and they actually use blood this time. Idris Elba finds the bodies and proceeds to lock down the building right when Prom King and Queen were about to be announced. But, of course, it's our main character, okay? Bimbo goes back up to her suite for reasons unknown, where a cat and mouse chase with the killer ensues, where, you guessed it, she hides underneath the fucking bed. She does not die as Elba saves her and his partner Ransom, remember him? Brings her back to her parents. The end. But wait, there's more. Because there's 20 minutes left, and Elba has to find the killer. So during a search, they find a dead body stuffed into the ceiling vents, which I call bullshit. How can someone of an average build take a lifeless 200-pound man and put his body into the vents, which are at least 10 feet tall, and I realize I'm overanalyzing this movie. Elba realizes that the killer escaped using the bellhop outfit, remember that? And goes to murder Ransom, who is doing a stakeout at Bimbo's house. Finally, Bimbo gets murdered. But it was all a dream. Instead, her boyfriend's throat is sliced, and yet she is still alive, waking up in her boyfriend's blood. She hides in the only place worse than underneath the bed. The closet. With the blinds open. I had a mental breakdown. Because I cannot fathom that someone can be this fucking stupid. The killer finds her, she escapes, and her stunt double is kicking like Bruce Lee. Then Elba proceeds to unload 4 shots into the killer's chest. Finally, the movie is over. The movie ends with more horrible music. In conclusion, this gets a 10 out of 100. It's a nothing movie. I didn't care. Nobody was outright bad, but nobody stood out to me as good either. The movie tried so hard to appeal to teens, which explained how bad the movie was. The only positive was that the black guy didn't die. So this movie gets the temporary nigger pass. This is Los Ingobernables shutting down until next time.